Yes, my people. Yeah, catch our vibes, you know. You don't know a young ruler there. Another episode I've been there, done that, you see it. This time now, we are up on a, wouldn't say secret location, but we're up on a location in Jamaica. You see me, I say? Somewhere in the country, in the Centenary District, you see me, I say? And I am with a prolific producer, artist, songwriter, band owner, father. We can go through many titles. I have many acts, you know, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Easy enough. I'm Coozie, musician, singer, producer, you know, guitar player, really, band leader. Been in the game for a while, you know, worked with a lot of different people. My band used to back Judy Moe.
Before you go there, sir,
yeah.
You're gone too quick.
All right, okay.
You go wind back. Ooh. Yeah. And in fact, I should have even do it even little different. Coozie Mellers. Yeah? That I should have said before I pass you on to you. No. Tell them who is Coozie Mellers, where you come from, where you start from, how you start.
Okay.
Who are you before you started music?
First of all, you might hear the accent, the American accent, but I'm Jamaican. Kingston. Then we moved to Portland, so a lot of times when people ask me where I'm from, I say Portland, you know, Buff Bay. Yeah, man. But my father was a guitar player, and I used to see him play guitar every evening after he comes home from work. And one day, me and my brother came home from school, and there's a drum set and there's a guitar.
How old was you then? Remember?
I think I was a teenager at that point, you know, very early teens. But I didn't really take it that serious, you know. I waited till I was like 17 before I got back to it, because I used to mess around with it, but I was a little youth, man, and I didn't really want to have the trouble of learning anything, you know. So by the time I was 17, I started playing bass. I said the guitar is the first thing that I had, but I started playing bass. And I met a guy by the name of, actually it was my sister's baby father, Fabian Cook. He's the one that eventually produced the song Hakuna Matata. Jimmy Cliff sang the song for Walt Disney. Yeah, I don't know. I met him when he was 17 and I was 17. He had just come up from Jamaica. He was touring with the Congos, drumming.
How old was he when he made that song?
When he produced the song, it was, I think,
many years later.
Many years later when he moved to California.
All right, so back to when you were 17 now, yeah.
Yeah, so I met Fabian Cook, his name is. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, them times I was learning how to play bass. I would stay home on the weekend, you know, meanwhile everybody's out there doing their thing. I'm at home learning how to play the bass, man, and you know, that was just my thing. And I met Fabian, he came to a rehearsal. Well, it wasn't a rehearsal. Me and my boys was just jamming. And my sister introduced me to him and says, yo, you know, he don't have nothing to do. This is Fabian, you know, hang out with him, whatever, you know, get to know him. He said, all right, okay. The man, he watches play and he says, can he mess around with the bass? I said, what do you mean, you can play bass? He said, try it, thing. The man started playing bass. I was like, wow. And then he said he wanted to play drums. And he sat behind the drums and I was like, because he was really the drummer for the Congos, you know. So I think his first instrument is drums. But it's like he plays keyboards. He's one of them people that does everything. He sing, yeah, everything. So that is where I started learning how to play different instruments from, you know. That's my teacher, Fabian Cook. He toured with Ziggy for many years as well, engineer and everything. So between him and my sister, they brought me to Wacky's. The real title is Bull Wacky Records. When it was on 141st Street or so. I can't even remember. 240, I don't know. And White Plains Road in the Bronx.
Yeah.
There, I met Sugar Minot, which me and him became very good friends. I met Johnny Osborne. Me and Johnny Osborne was all over the place together, man. You know, he took a liking to me. I was 17, you know, so at this point, I'm like, wow, I'm hanging with these entertainers that are actually doing something, you know, big things, man. Horace Andy. I want to show you. Horace Andy actually was the one that showed me how to play my first 2 chords on the guitar, you know, before I met Fabian. And I found myself after a while in the studio doing a session playing bass for Horace Andy, you know, Sugar Mine, all of them. So I was lucky because I was like not even ready for the experience yet, but I was in the studio working with X amount of entertainers, and then Wacky
So
sent
from
me.
the time of 17, you was actually working on some of the tracks.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually good enough to do this stuff, you know.
Any tracks what we know about back then from that the first lot?
I don't know. Let me tell you something. The way the music business goes too, I played on some tracks that, you know, it was all even my tape and thing. I remember Sugar Miner took a reel-to-reel to Jamaica and didn't know that it was mine, and put a whole bunch of artists on there. And if I heard like even one of them, I wouldn't even know what it is. I didn't get no credit for it. Nothing. That's just how it was back in the day. I remember bringing the tape, and I was about to voice a tune, but I didn't have enough time. I went home. Next day I came back. The tape full of artists. No room for me, you know. The man said, if anything, he'll run it off on a 2-track or something, and I can sing on it, the 2-track. I'm like,
That's whole tape full of.
oh my God, yeah, that's how it was in the day, you know. But thing is that I was very happy for the experience.
Just for the experience and the work and to be part of what's going on.
Yeah.
I get it.
I met a lot of different entertainers, man, and you know, man, they really embraced me and, you know, made it like.
From the, sorry to cut you there. So from being with Johnny Osborne then, yeah?
Yeah.
And being with Horace Andy, where did the journey go from there?
Thing is, after a while, everybody moved back to Jamaica, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd come down to Jamaica for a while, and you know, because I had a job with the phone company at that time, and quit my job, you know, and I was down in Jamaica about 5-6 months at a time, hanging out and doing what I do in Jamaica.